Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting tutorial. We are in class 10 of the Dhairya Lakshmi painting. I'm Gomati Sivasankaran. This painting is one of the 8 paintings that I am doing relating to Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi is known for all the positive propensities of life, and this particular Lakshmi that we are working on together is called Dhairya Lakshmi. By now you must know Dhairya is courage and valor, isn't it? So we take this with courage and valor and see this to the finish. We are working on layer 5 right now. Just a recap of what we did. We did the layer 1, layer that was a wash and or a first coat on the canvas, and then we did the planning and execution, after which we using the grids, after which we did the color blocking filling. Layer 2, layer 3 was building onto dark versus light. Layer 4 was building into the depth, a lot of detailing. Oh yeah. And layer 5 also looks in the same angle because there's a lot of nuances that we are working on, isn't it? So last session would have been highly intense because we were just trying to capture as much as possible of this little girl's innocence, and I was trying to bring in that picture, as much as possible. And yeah, if you ask me, I will always try to find some ways to improve and keep on going. That's why I say, there is no end to it. Layer 5 is where I say stop, but to be honest, if you let me, I will go on to layer 10 also to find more ways to improvise and such. But that's exactly where I also say, okay, that's a fairly decent, representation of what the thought process is all about. And I just say yes to it. We are going to work on the jewelry today. Yes. And remember when we worked on the jewelry last time, I did give you some reference material to work on, and I also let you choose from that material any other country related jewelry references and such. So what I am doing is what I did in the previous lessons, just to enhance that. I have used African jewelry, and I found some the seashells kind of a thing that was really intriguing, and I had use that as an inspiration. So that's going to be a lot of seashell work coming up right away. Colors? Any guess? Oh yeah, titanium white, but you know what I'm going to say. Yes, we need to blend a little bit of yellow ochre, another color, to just bring it down from that really bright white. We will use that really bright white to show some highlights maybe in some places, but essentially we want the color to have a slight mixture of yellow ochre to be really light. And if you go back to what we did in the skin color, we could also use that, doesn't matter. So I'm going to take, yes, the brush. Guess again, you nailed it. It's going to be micro brushes and zero brushes only most of the time. So I have this color a little bit mixed here. The white is still white, but it isn't pure titanium white for me, and that works well for me. Now I'm not going to take oil. To the contrary of what I was suggesting in the previous session, this time I don't want oils. I would like to use this color raw so that it builds on and helps me make the make the shells properly. When you look at the shells, the way it is built in the picture, around the neck, the closer ones are really toppled over, and the back of the shell is visible, and the ones that are coming in the next row or so, they are all showing the opening of that shell. So I like that idea, and I want to keep that. And then are beads, colorful beads coming across So these are the white dots that I had placed. We could use different colors also to play around with, to try some different color beads as well. So let's get started with the shells. So I am making the one that is the top of the shell only to be, made. So I'm making that one at a time. And also making the shape clear. I do use a tiny bit of oil to make it slightly smooth because it's rough on my, brush. So I make that smooth. So going for the first row of shells that are close to her neck in the necklace, doing the shape only, so it looks like a shape. We need to work on the details in a short while. That's going to be fun. So yep, so I guess I managed to create the first row, and also the earrings are also shells if I remember correctly. Done. The first layer is done. I am going to the first row is done. Sorry, I'm just into layers. Too much of layer thing going on in my head. So what do I need? I need to wipe off my brush a little to take burnt umber only in the tip of my micro brush. To sort of create the contours. I don't want it to be sharply visible, but really lightly guided. So you don't need to know that it exists, but it could, be very well there. And then I give that top portion a tiny angle there. So I've done one, and I'm going to continue doing the others. So when you do that, also the color blends in. So it's a good idea to have tissues in your hand. Wipe it off because you've got a lot of lighter tonality sitting here. This way the angles sharpen. And I'm not doing all the white first because it's really hard for me to place my hand somewhere in this small little canvas. This contour lining is helping me in accentuating what exactly it is. but the shape, it doesn't really look like shells yet, and I'm aware of it. Um, So now that I have done the contours, the next thing I'm going to do is that I want to take a little bit of this pure titanium white. Remember I said we will use it for another coat. And no oils here. I'm going to leave it on the top of the shell, like a mold or something that's just like a mound that is coming out of the body of the shell. So that is the uh, one that is slightly bigger, and it's also having a contrasting color there. So not a contrasting color, rather uh, a brighter color there. So it is in the front. So if it is looking like a dot, try to move it around that it looks slightly bigger than a dot, like this. So this is going to take a while to dry because we are loading paint on the canvas. So that's why I said, avoid using extra oil. We don't need that. We want this to stick on. When the paintings dry fully, you need to have what do you call, at least a temporary varnish done to protect these smaller but minute structures that you are building. So it begins to look like, okay, that is a pattern, that is possibly a shell or something. Wiping off the brush, taking more white, loading it in the tip of the brush. Everything is like done with this small little brush, or micro brush. Oh, that's a lot to take. Just take a little, throw it in here. It sticks to it, yes. Then you have the first row done. Now I want to do the same thing to the shell that is in her ear. Now I've loaded a little more than what I would. Here I want it to be slightly bigger, so I'm just loading a little more. Throwing it in here. Good. Done. Now for the other rows, the other rows have an open, kind of image. So I'm doing like, this is what I'm going to do. Imagine a bigger C and a smaller C and leave that in between line empty, and let's have a small little cap on that both the C's. Then it makes the overall structure. So I'm going to do one here in the center. So it's going to be a bigger C, a smaller C, and then possibly a cap or a dot at the top. So what we left here is like coffee bean. We are going to throw in darker color there in between to highlight it. Yes, so that's what we are going to do. Let's repeat that. Okay. patterns. Bigger C, smaller C, and a hat on the top. Go ahead, keep on doing that for each and every. I'll do one row and then I'll do the detailing and then come back to the next row. Yeah. Bigger C, smaller C, and the this single row is complete, and I'm going to do the detailing now. Wiping off this brush, I'm going to take I can try ivory black, burnt umber mixture, anything. It's up to you to create the darker zone. Remember one thing, you could make it simple and draw the line and leave it like that. That is one thing. But you can also leave like a small scar both ways, so it looks like a zip. If I were to explain how the inner side of that shell looks, so just create that effect if you can in between. And also do the contours ever so lightly with this. So I'm just going to do the contours nicely to be very sure of where the edges of it are. And do not worry about the shadows of this. We will work on it also when we work on the costume, the shirt that she is wearing. So, okay, we say 2 rows done. I have done, there's 3 more rows to go. But by the time I also remembered that we also used shells in the belt and in the border of her shirt. So I'm going to do the same thing. Fill in the color because these are shells that are, showing themselves in the back of themselves. So fuller ones, bigger shells here on the hip. Filling them in with the slightly mixed, white with the yellow ochre, slightly mixed color tonality, filling them at once. Nice. That's a lot of shells today. Gonna do the same exercise to the hands as well. These are smaller ones, tiny ones. Let's do the contour ever so lightly, so very thin. You don't want it to show strongly at all. The hands, the shells in the hands are done, nearly there. Shells in the hip. Wiping off excess. Right. And now for loading the white on them. Let's be careful with this. These are small ones. So small little dots there. Yeah. Cool. And here we will take a little more. To fade this section nicely. Mm-hmm. I think I have loaded enough paint here, so the shells look slightly, rough here. Okay. Alright, so we have this shells done, but on top of this shell I want to create a few other things like some marks. On the top of them to, give a feeling of a shell. Nice. I'll add a little more of white here to this should look nice. So it's come out well, and I'm going to work now on the rest of these shells here in the next 3 rows. These are ones that are open, so see curves in the top. Yeah. I'm doing this slightly faster here. Okay, practice helps us understand, the logic and go a little faster maybe here. Let's do that. Nearly there with these shells, only with the um, layering here we need to do the darker tonalities, shading there. Okay, cool. So it looks like coffee beans, and let's not hope. So let's hope it doesn't, end up looking like coffee beans ultimately. So I'm just trying to do the center codes, center shading, and the contours as well. Yeah, so lightly, yeah. Use ivory black or use burnt umber mixtures. It's also fine. I think it is just up to you to see where you want to create and depth and how far do you want to go with it. Yeah, I'm using both sporadically. Uh, cool. I think I am done with one of the rows. A couple of rows to go, the last 2 rows to go. Let's do with patterns is really a matter of patience. We are aware that we are repeating ourselves, but repeat yourself in a way that it is, showing the consistency. Nearly there. Okay, now I am done with this shell idea, but what is remaining is this the pearls in the the connecting pearls, and they are a really different color. So I'm starting with yellow. I have yellow, and I want to use that sporadically. So I'm using that bright yellow as a dot in some places. Okay, my brush has got black and it's turning into green also. That's interesting. But you want to create that pearl, so it's a small pearl, so just make sure that the dots are coming out brightly, and use the color sporadically because you want to go and try another color also. And these bangles are also colored, isn't it? Color pearls, sort of. That was permanent yellow used in some places, and I want to take that permanent yellow to make nice yellow pearls. Small minute ones I can see in the picture. I'm taking inspiration from there. I'm going to do that in a couple of hands and not do in everywhere. Yeah, I want to use multiple colors. Let's see how far it goes with this. Right, cool. So stopping with yellow, what do we take now? I want to try blue. I don't think we have blue colors. That'll be nice contrast to have blue. So I have primary blue, and I'm going to take that, the tip of my brush, to do some nice blue. It looks almost black, but that's the power of the blue. It is really a strong color. Again, I'm just going about sporadically placing this blue. I want this blue also to go in one of the bangles here, or a couple of bangles, that is the pairs here. Nice. Guess that is enough. All right, I'm not going to take versions of red here because yeah, it's already overloaded with red, the paint, the uh, colors of red. What other combinations can we pick? There is green to play with. That's an interesting color to try. I have olive green. I'm going to take a little bit of that to see. That can give a contrast. It does. One of those bangles I'm giving green. The other one you cannot see to the parallel, so leaving it there. Thinking another color that could help. It's all my choice that I'm making, Here I'm looking for magenta or something really purple, if possible. Let's see if I get lucky with it. There is turquoise that I can see in my turquoise could be a good color. Let's try that. Yeah, that is good. It looks different. Yeah, I guess it will look a little more different now. Okay, so adding turquoise here. Yes, it does add another range of color. Good. Okay, looks colorful, and right now I'm going to take this turquoise to build this one. We are working a lot on all these jewelry. We haven't touched the crown. I guess we will come there shortly. Yeah. So I'm just looking for another color combination. It's just a matter of magenta. It looks bright. Let's see if I could use that. Seems like a stronger color coming in. Though it is close to this, red family, it is distinct in a way. Cool. Now I want to give this contrasting, color. Some notches here as other layers of bead to the yellow one. So this is all, I'm just playing around with the colors to see how I could, because there is a lot of colors that they are playing with in the in the references that we have. So I'm just doing whatever I can to see if I could, bring in some kind of color diversity here, because they really have nice colors. I'm looking at possibilities to build in the same here. We are leaving a little bit of the white, in the spacing for the bangles, so it gives a feel that there is also possibly white pearls. At least that's what I'm trying to do here, I think. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, nearly there with the bangles as well. So with this, so these are all nice little spots that we have made with these colors in the bangle. Good, I think it looks fine. Now I think I need the white as well to make some of the pearls come out bright in the remaining portions of the bangle. So I'm going to if there are other colors mixing, I'm just removing with my small little paper tissue in my hand. Mm. It elevates those colors, huh? Right. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this hand as well. Then we'll say we're done with the bangles as such. Hmm. Cool. Um, the bangles are done. Belt is kind of done. I'm trying to look at the belt one more time if there is anything else to be done. Let's focus on the African country dollar and then go to the crown. Hmm? I'm just looking at the shape of the country if I have done it right, and I want it to be really bright white. Hmm? Going to push that white in. This shape is fine, but it cuts through a little sharper here, and then it comes down here nicely. That is fine. Come here. This one has a kind of a Okay, that is fine. And now I will use, I need yellow to do the base of this dollar symbol. And I'm blending it on top of this, so it kind of adds on to the yellow ochre base that I have made, and that is fine with me. Yes. Let's just check on the circle. I think I made a mistake with the shape. Tad bit here, adjusting. Now the shape comes out right. I want to give a light white outline, pushing it forward ever so lightly. Not necessarily that it has to be white. I just wanted to gel in a little bit with the yellow, as long as it helps in enhancing and bringing this storyline to the front. And it is visible, that is enough. Cool, I guess we have this dollar symbol done right, and I want to connect it with small white pearls, so nothing big, tiny ones to go along the line here. And I want to remember to go, along the line here as well to show that continuation of that chain. Huh? I think her culture really shines bright. I really like this. I hope I have done justice to this. Um, sorry, my knowledge is very less, and I have tried my best to capture whatever I liked about this jewelry here. The last but not the least, let's work on the crown. The crown has, now for the crown, I'm just moving it a little bit so that we get to see a little more of the crown space in focus. Let's do the very thin, I'm going to take a brush that is, I think I want a brush 0 or something. Yes, with primary yellow basically, and a bit of yellow ochre added, so it's really lighter, almost golden. And that color I want to use as a base to fill in first all these sections that we did last time and left just like that in white. Oh, yeah. Fill it first nicely. What is that shape? Oh, okay, it's got a then it's got the C, and then it's got this. Oh. It's got the C. This is the center portion. And the star. We will use burnt umber to do the contours and the designs inside. But before that, we also need to push the negative space out, and I think it is black as it is shown in the picture. I want to rely on my micro brush to go around with the black. Marking this section out. Nicely. And this also. Now I want to clean this brush, go back to using burnt umber. I take it from the top this time. I want to just highlight the star. If you just do sections of the star like this, then the shape of the star comes out. sharpen the star a tad bit. Yes, and then the moon, the crescent. Cool. And then this is like a like a descending staircase here. But before that, we'll have to do this base and then come back again. Looks like let's do this. Let's do the base first and just doing the lining, the contours here nicely. Okay. There's kind of a borderline in here. I'm pulling it through roughly, and then I'm doing the kind of V shapes. Yeah, cool, that is done. Okay, and this one is like a crown and the cross thing. Now I want to just get the descending shades here nicely. In the back. Slight little strokes going from the center. Okay. Gonna do the same here. Cool. Okay, I guess I am nearly there with the jewelry enhancements and completion, shading and such. Just gonna look at the jewelry one more time to see if there is any spacing that we could manage, adjust colors and refine, smoothen here. The shades are intact. The contours are nice. A little more here. I guess it is looking fine. She looks cool, and I think it really helps her the image look nice. And I'm going to use the same color that we mixed for the chakra here and the shank because it's the same color. I just want the same gold to go there. looks better now. The colors and the highlights. And let's do the same thing on the shank as well. As far as this gold color is concerned, yeah, we are just sticking to that. And then we'll come back and work on the details of it in the next class. But cool. I think we managed to complete the jewellery. Let me know how you fared well with this, what kind of jewellery you have chosen to work on, and how do you find it and such. We are nearing completion. As you can see, we have to just work on the clothing, a little bit of shadows and the instruments that she's holding, highlighting the lotus flower, and then we'll be done in the next class. So nearing completion, take a look at it very well. So in case you need another improvement to make or such, make a note of it, because we are just coming close to the finish line. Yes, let's meet at the other end of this courage and valor story that we have built. Yes, until such time, stay motivated, stay happy, stay well blessed, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay curious. Let's get to the finish line together. See you. Bye bye.